Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Performance Nutrition. In this week's video, we're going to focus on pre and during exercise nutrition. We're also going to discuss if all athletes need to consume food and fluids around exercise and give you some recommendations about what types of macronutrients are needed in this space. My name's Chris Fonda, a performance dietitian sharing my passion for and knowledge of evidence-based sports nutrition to help you reach peak health and performance. To help me to continue to provide quality content, I'd love your support. So make sure you click that subscribe button on the bottom right of this video. And click that bell icon too when it pops up so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. And as always, I will make sure to include links related to this week's video in the description box below. So let's jump into it. So the main aim of pre-exercise nutrition is to ensure the body is topped up with both food and fluid to maximize performance and delay fatigue. And we know that depletion of body stores of carbohydrate is a major cause of fatigue during exercise. And foods that contain carbohydrate should be consumed to maximize muscle and liver fuel stores, and fluid should be consumed to begin exercise in a well-hydrated state. But there may be situations where consuming carbohydrate before or starting exercise with topped up muscle fuel stores may not be required. So sessions where athletes want to maximize training adaptations can train in a fasted state or with low muscle glycogen stores or fuel stores. And this practice has been shown to increase the number of mitochondria, or those power plants in the muscle cells, and enhance metabolic flexibility, which allows athletes to use a larger variety of muscle fuels as energy. But more research is needed before we can understand and translate this into true performance benefits, because no athlete has won a gold medal by having more mitochondria than other athletes. But exercise that requires an athlete to perform at high intensities or when competing to win does require adequate fueling prior to exercise to maximize performance. And performance dietitians are able to manipulate the nutrient content of athletes' meals and snacks around their training schedules and periodize their nutrition to suit their individual needs and goals. So meals and snacks consumed before exercise should contain carbohydrate, be low in fiber and fat because this delays gastric emptying, contains fluid, and be comfortable and familiar. In terms of the numbers, athletes can consume around 1 to 4 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram of body weight in a pre-exercise meal or snack, and this is about 1 to 4 hours before exercise or competition. Now, the reason for this large range is to account for the athlete's individual needs, the fuel needs of their sport, and gut comfort. And many athletes prefer a smaller top-up snack in the hour before training, exercise, or competition. And this should also contain around 1 gram of carbs per kilogram of body mass, which can be better tolerated. When we talk about fluid, around 1 to 2 cups at each main meal over the day in the lead up to exercise, and again just prior to starting exercise, is recommended. So what about during exercise or competition nutrition? So how much, if any, carbohydrate is needed depends mainly on the duration of exercise, the fuel needs, and the availability of food and fluids of that sport. So for exercises lasting around 1 hour or up to an hour, generally no carbohydrate is needed. And this might be suitable for those regular gym goers exercising for health or body composition reasons. For exercises between 1 to 2 hours of duration, around about 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrate per hour is recommended. And this might be sports like football, AFL, rugby, netball, and other team-based sports. For exercise greater than 2 hours of duration, around 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour is recommended to delay fatigue and optimize performance. So this could include sports like marathons, triathlons, long distance running, and other endurance and ultra endurance events. And a mix of real foods and sports foods like sports drinks, energy gels, and bars is recommended to prevent flavor fatigue, particularly during exercise that exceeds that 2-hour duration. So that's carbohydrate recommendations, but what about fluid? So when we exercise, we sweat, and this is our body's way to help regulate our core temperature. But as a result, we do lose body water. Sweat rates are variable from person to person. There are differences between sports, and it's highly influenced by environmental conditions, because we do know that we do sweat less in the winter compared to the summer. Fluid intake during competition should aim to prevent a loss of more than 2% of body weight to avoid dehydration, which ultimately affects performance. How much fluid you need to drink depends on your individual sweat rate. And a fluid balance assessment can be helpful to work out the amounts of fluid that you need to consume in the lead up to and during exercise to prevent excessive dehydration. But you should always start exercise well hydrated, and a good daily guide is to check your urine colour. And you should aim for a hay or straw-like colour. And if your urine colour is closer to the colour of apple juice, you're likely dehydrated. And if it's clear, perhaps you've drunk too much. Make sure you do chat with your own performance dietitian, as this can be really useful in helping you to choose the right foods and fluids around exercise for you. And check out that description box below on where you can find a local performance dietitian. So if you've liked what you've heard so far, give this video a thumbs up, share this video, and add your comments below on how you fuel for and during exercise. I'd love to hear it. But that's it for me for now. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Fonda out.